What's going on, guys? Right Bomby Teacher in the house, and I'm here with the GPL week number 2. Your Royal Bomber for Bombies are taking on the Coastal Claydols and my good friend Professor _ 5. This is a really interesting matchup. There's been a fair bit of trash talk between the two of us on Twitter and on our streams. It's been good fun. Professor's a really cool guy. Really glad we brought him into the league. He had a rough start last week against the Kami. He took a pretty unfortunate 4-0 loss after not realizing that his opponent's Heracross was scarfed. So we're going to look for something similar to that this week, but nonetheless, I think Professor is a very quick learner, so I've got my work cut out. If I want to win this game, it's definitely going to be tough. He's also had quite a fair bit of help this week. He's had some mock battles and stuff like that. He's had people helping with his team, so he's definitely going to be stronger than he was last week. So, take nothing for granted. I think this will be a fun match. So, the top 6 on his team is the 6 I think he's going to bring. I did actually change this up a little bit from my initial thoughts, and I'll tell you about that as we get to it. But yeah, his Gmax of choice is Inteleon. I don't have a Gmax Inteleon sprite as it's not been publicly released yet, so I can't actually do that. For some reason, it's been a while to see the update, but Inteleon is Gmax. Hydra Snipe is actually very powerful. It can actually OHKO my Duraludon if it crits, which is a bit of an issue. Stuff like that, and it does have Sniper now, so I do need to watch out for that thing. That being said, though, without being able to hold a scope lens because of the item rules this season can only hurt a Pokeball, it doesn't crit as much, so that is something to bear in mind. Interesting, I'll talk about one of my sets in a bit, but it can actually struggle against certain parts of my team, so it's got an interesting matchup, but it can definitely do a lot of work to things like my Mudsdale and my Carkol. Those kind of things will be a problem, but yeah. Definitely an interesting one. I expect it to come, obviously, because it's his Gmax. I'm still not convinced by it, but he stands by it, so hopefully he can prove me wrong. Next up is his Togekiss. Now, Togekiss, I feel like he brings, and if he doesn't bring it Scarf, I'll be surprised. Scarf Togekiss can hurt a lot of my team. It doesn't do much to Run and Wash, though, but it can do a lot to most of my team. It could be a Nasty Plot set, I guess. I can see Nasty Plot being a thing. But I don't think it hits hard enough to be Nasty Plot, and even if it does Nasty Plot, I've got plenty of answers for Togekiss, so not sure about that one. But I think Togekiss definitely comes. If it's not Scarf, I'll be surprised, but I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be Scarf. It is one of his only removal, though, to bear that in mind. He only has 2 Defoggers and a Spinner, but I feel like this is the only one that he can bring that has any removal this week, and we'll talk about the other 2 as we get there. Next up is Cobalion. Now, Cobalion has a very interesting problem, because Cobalion doesn't like running Scarf, but I feel like he has to bring it Scarfed. It's one of the fastest things on his team, and it can actually hold an item. Obviously, if he's not Scarfed, anything like a +1 Volcarona outspeeds it and OHKOs it, so that's something to keep in mind. I think he brings a Scarf set with things like Rocks, Stone Edge for Volk, of course. Things like Iron Head could be nice. I do have a Mimikyu and stuff like that. And Close Combat hits things like Duraludon pretty hard. It also hits Pangoro really hard. I think that's probably the kind of set I would bring. He might bring Volt Switch just to try and pivot out onto bad matchups, but I don't see it. Volt Switch does nothing to Mudsdale. Cobalion does get shut down pretty hard by Mudsdale, so that is something that might dissuade him from bringing it. But I think if he does bring it, it's a Scarf set. Next up is his Weavile. Again, kind of an interesting matchup. Struggles against +1 Volk. He could be Sashed, though. Focus Sash Triple Axle is a set I've been seeing running around ladder recently. It's definitely been somewhat successful. I've seen it do pretty well. I've seen it do pretty badly. Could be Banded. Could also be Scarfed at Outspeed Volcarona. But even if he is Scarfed, a Stab Knockoff doesn't kill me. So definitely an interesting position for Weavile. I think it comes. It's a good knockoff spammer. It does get Ice Shard priority. I think it has to come. He could bring Triple Axle, but it's, as we saw from Ted for Prez's game, it's pretty unreliable, so I'm not sure. But I definitely think it comes. It is one of his best late game cleaners, so he absolutely comes. Now, these next 2 Pokemon I was kind of torn on. Originally I had Hydreigon and Galarian Corsola there. I think they were probably good, but then I realized it's kind of bad into Pangoro. So I think he actually brings his Suncore. I think Ninetales, it's actually very decent. Again, it has to be Scarf to speed tie Volcarona. Volcarona doesn't hit it back, but Ninetales doesn't really do much to me unless he Nasty Plots, albeit he could Fire Blast and Sun, which hurts. Venusaur itself, kind of an interesting one. Does get Weather Ball this generation, does get Earth Power this generation, so things like that could definitely help it out. I might have a bit of Mooslot syndrome now. I expect him to run Growth, expect him to run Sludge Bomb. And then after that, it can be anything. Can be Synthesis, which will be a good one for bulk, Sleep Powder, stuff like that. I think he probably runs like Sleep Powder Growth, maybe. to try and stall out things. But I do have an Amoongus that is immune to Sleep Powder, so that'll be interesting to see if he goes for that. But yeah, he needs Weather Ball. He absolutely needs Weather Ball, and if he doesn't bring Weather Ball, I think he's in a bad spot. Ninetales, maybe Scarf, maybe Nasty Plot, could be Calm Mind. There's a few things it could run. Does get Scorching Sands this generation, so that's something I need to watch out for. It does actually get a ground type move, but Rotom Wash kind of doesn't care, so that's something to watch out for. But yeah, definitely strong. I have a set in mind that can actually beat this thing, so I'll talk about that when we get there. But yeah. So, Hydreigon I originally thought would come because it's obviously the third part of his very, very powerful Fairy Dragon Steel Core. However, Hydreigon kind of has a bit of a bad matchup. Volcarona outspeeds it, and even if he tries to Scarf, a +1 Volcarona still outspeeds, and Oko's with a Bug Buzz. So that's something to watch out for. It can definitely be a problem. But yeah, looking at a lot of what he has, I can see certain problems being a thing on his team, but I'm not too scared of it. Hydreigon obviously a defogger, so he may be a little bit tied up. May have to bring it because of that. I don't know if he can afford Togekiss to have defog. I expect it probably has, but difficult. Hydreigon, pretty rough matchup. Not convinced it comes. Next up is Galarian Corsola. I thought he might bring this. It's kind of an awkward one. Willow Strength Sap against things like my Pangoro definitely sucks. Also sucks against Mudsdale as well. So he might bring it for that. However, Pangoro Okos it with Darkest Lariat, even if it's a Violet most of the time. So that might be the dissuading factor for him. Plus, I have very good special offense on my team, so I'm not too worried about it. Does get a rock move for Volcarona though. Volcarona can't Oko it in one hit, so that's something to bear in mind. But yeah, we've got a lot of interesting shenanigans going on here. Corsola might come. Don't think it does, but it might do. Next up is Claydol, pretty much his only Rotom Wash immunity in some ways, with now allowing me not to Volt Switch. I don't think Claydol can come though. Volcarona gets Grass coverage, which actually nukes it pretty hard. Duraludon can hit it pretty hard with Max Darkness. Pangoro hits it with Darkest Lariat. Rotom gets Dark Pulse. Mimikyu obviously beats it with Shadow Claw. There's a lot of things that can beat Claydol on my team, so I feel like it's a rough matchup. Even though it is a spinner and even though it is a rocker, I don't think he can afford to bring it. He probably brings rocks on Kabalion if he even brings rocks. But yeah, Claydol, tough matchup for it. Not sure it comes. Vikavolt, it does get webs of course, but that's about the only good thing it's got going for it this matchup. It's hard ruined by Volcarona, and if he does bring a Sun Core, Vikavolt does nothing, so definitely don't see Vikavolt coming. Webs could be a problem for me if I have Scarfers, but it's not the biggest problem in the world. I have a pretty safe defogger in Rotom Wash, so not the hugest deal. And Bufalon, kind of an interesting pickup. Does get Sap Zipper, of course, but Amoongus is not necessarily the most offensive grass type in the world, so I don't think I'm going to be too worried about that. Obviously, Volcarona gets Giga Drain, which could buff it up. But again, Bufalon, too slow. Decent okay offensively, but doesn't do enough on it to justify bringing it to this match, so I don't expect to see it. So, with all that being said, let's have a look at my team, what I brought and why I brought it. So first up, unsurprisingly, same as last week, is going to be Volcarona. We're running Choice Scarf this week. I don't have time to set up Quiver Dance, especially against Kabalion, so we're running Scarf U-Turn. Otherwise, we got some interesting stuff. We've got Psychic. I know he has 2 Dark types, but I don't think it justifies bringing Bug Buzz. Fire Dance actually Oko's Weavile if it's not sashed. So that's something to bear in mind. Plus U-Turn plus Fiery Dance still kills it anyway, so I'm not really concerned about Weavile. Obviously if it's banded, Fiery Dance still kills, so things like that. Obviously Hydreigon, if it does come, could be annoying, but I can U-Turn out on it, so I don't think it matters that much. But yeah, Fiery Dance, Psychic, Giga Drain, pretty decent coverage against most of his team. Obviously Giga Drain's there for Inteleon. Psychic is kind of neutral stat, it also hits Venusaur and two-shots it, so that's something to look at. Obviously, Fiery Dance Oko's it anyway, but if I don't think he goes Venusaur, I can just Psychic it. Venusaur doesn't really hit me that hard, unless he has Weather Ball, so something to watch out for, of course. But yeah, generally this set is designed just to pivot out. If he has Scarf Kabalion, he outspeeds me and kills me with a Rock move, most likely. Other things that can outspeed me are Scarf Ninetales, because I'm EV to outspeed Scarf Hydreigon. I'm not EV to speed tie Ninetales. And Scarf Weavile, but Scarf Weavile doesn't touch me and dies to a Fiery Dance. So, yeah, Pretty safe prediction to bring this week. Obviously, I would have loved to have brought Quiver Dance, but there's absolutely no way I can set it up. He has too fast a team and too offensive a team, so there's no way I can afford it. So a bit unfortunate. It means I can't survive a Hydra Snipe, but at the end of the day, like, you gotta go with what you can go for. Next up on the team is going to be a double Scarf this week. We're bringing Scarf Rotom again. Scarf Rotom actually is very, very strong in this matchup. If he doesn't bring Claydol, this set absolutely destroys him. Discharge, get him key paralysis on any Scarfers or anything that's outspeeding me. Discharge on Cobalion will be perfect. I've got Volt Switch for safe pivoting. If he doesn't bring Claydol, that's fine. Hydro Pump actually 2 shots of Claydol, so I'm not really that bothered. Hydro Pump is actually generally very strong. It actually 2 shots Ninetales even in Sun, so that's a pretty interesting spec to know. We are specs to outspeed a Scarf Togekiss if it comes, which means Discharge will 2-hit KO it if it's offensive. I won't 2-hit KO if it's not, but either way, we're fine with Rotom. Rotom pretty strong against this team. Obviously, he is my defogger, as I am not running Heavy Duty Boots Volcarona this week. Obviously, having the defogger is very important, and Rotom, best one by far on my team. Next up on the team is going to be Mudsdale, running a slightly unusual set this week. We're actually running AV with 180 Spadef EVs. This allows me to live 3 Giga Drains from Venusaur, no problem. It allows me to take any 2 hits from unboosted Ninetales, no problem, and stuff like that. This is designed to break Cobalion, though. I need Cobalion gone for Volcarona to win this game. But this can actually take on pretty much everything. Rock Tomb is very nice because it can slow down anything that's faster. If I can get the Venusaur slowed down in Sun, for example, that's kind of nice because it means Volcarona can then outspeed it and then nuke it. Things like Heavy Slam is nice for Togekiss on the switch in. I think he definitely switches Togekiss in more often than not. If he does bring that 6, I think he has very few Earthquake switch-ins except Togekiss. And Togekiss gets 2-hit KO'd by Heavy Slam. Also, something to note, Rock Tomb plus Heavy Slam actually also kills Togekiss if it's offensive. So that's something else to bear in mind. But yeah, Mudsdale's got an interesting matchup. Obviously, the stamina boosting, giving me body press damage. If he doesn't bring Galarian Corsola, body press can actually wreak havoc on this team. So that's something else to bear in mind. But yeah, the goal for this is to keep it healthy. Once Cobalion goes down, I can be a little bit more aggressive with Mudsdale. But I need Cobalion gone first, and that's going to be the key to winning this game. Next up is another option I have to try and break Cobalion is going to be my Pangoro. Pangoro running high HB this week. The reason for that is it's my best chance to live a close combat. It's a roll in his favor if he's not banded. I do expect him to be Scarfed, but he does have like a 66% chance to Oko me. However, Banded Iron Fist is actually very, very strong. I can 2-hit KO Togekiss with Bullet Punch, Thunder Punch, Okos, and Teleon unless it's Dynamaxed. Drain Punch does a lot to this team. Drain Punch is actually very, very strong. It can Oko Cobalion. It Okos Hydreigon pretty comfortably. It does a number to Ninetales. It Okos Weavile, and actually can 2-shot the Inteleon depending on its EV spread, but yeah, it does a hell of a lot. And Darkest Lariat is very nice against any setup ones. But I do need to be careful with Darkest Lariat, of course, because Cobalion has Justified. So I need to make sure I'm not clicking that too often, unless Cobalion is dead. Darkest Lariat is actually very strong otherwise, so we'll see what we can do with this thing. Obviously, we're slow, so we are going to take a hit first, which is why I ran Drain Punch instead of Close Combat, to give me as much longevity as possible. Hopefully, this puts in work. Obviously, I'd love to have run something else, but I need this thing to hit as hard as possible for as long as possible. Next up on the team is going to be our G-Max, of course, the Ralladon. Running a very similar set to last week. The only exception is we have Thunderbolt this week instead of Solar Beam. We don't need Max Overgrowth this week. It doesn't do anything. Draco Meteor Flash Cannon, of course, very, very potent stabs. Max Depletion is very strong. Fun fact about this, if I can actually get a Rock Tomb off from Mudsdale on the Inteleon, this actually outspeeds and can Oko with Max Lightning and Electric Terrain. It's a roll to kill with Max Lightning after a Rock Tomb, so I do need to watch out for that, because an Ice move will kill me if it crits. But yeah, Dark Pulse, of course, again, same deal, gotta be careful of Cobalion. I might replace Dark Pulse, but I don't really know what with yet. I haven't made my mind up on that. But yeah, this is generally a set that hits everything on his team. Max Lightning, very, very strong against Inteleon Togekiss, of course. Flash Cannon's pretty decent against the Weavile, can also be very solid against the Hydreigon if it comes, I don't see it though. Flash Cannon, mostly for Togekiss, but it can also hit the Weavile. Dark Pulse generally hits everything else for relatively neutral coverage. So it's pretty solid. Definitely looking very strong. We don't need the huge amount of speed. Again, this outspeeds Togekiss if it's not scarfed. So that's all we really need it for. And it OHKOs with Flash Cannon if I'm maxed. So good to know. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Wait a minute. These are the same 5 mons he bought last week. Did he just bring the same team again? Well, no. Last Hon we brought was Amoonguss. Amoonguss this week's kind of an interesting matchup. I can actually stall quite a lot of the special offense. I can carefully take on Inteleon. I have to make sure his max is gone before I switch this thing in, because I can take 2 Ice Beams, but I can't take 2 max Hailstorms. But if I get a Spore off on it, I can heal up on it all day. We got a pretty interesting little tech move on there. You might see Stomping Tantrum and might think, what the hell? So, obviously, in these battles, we have Sleep Claws, which means that Spore will fail if I try to use it on 2 different targets, or if I try to use it on Venusaur, which means Stomping Tantrum actually does double damage. So it's actually a cool little tech move. Might catch him a little bit off guard. Clear Smog is there to stop the Venusaur from growthing up on me. There's no way he can growth anyway. And Synthesis actually heals more in Sun. It heals about 75% if I remember right. So it actually does a hell of a lot of healing in Sun, which I'm looking forward to seeing. How he handles this. Obviously, things like Ninetales can do a lot with a Fire Blast, but again, in Sun, I heal up most of its damage, so I just have to hope he doesn't burn me. Plus, I can also sleep it with Spore, so this can limit him quite a lot. If I can Spore the Cobalion, that would be even better, because it means Pangoro can come in for free, which would definitely be nice. But yeah, this is pretty much the special wall this week. He has a lot of special offense on his team, so Amoonguss kind of had to come. Obviously, Mimikyu was here last week. I was debating on Carkol coming. Carkol actually has a pretty interesting matchup. It can OHKO Venusaur and Sun with Heat Wave and stuff like that. I can also do it with Flare Blitz. But I don't feel like I can afford it as much as I want to bring rocks this week. I would love to bring a Rock Spinner. I don't think I can afford it. I think Mudsdale has a better matchup in general. So we're going to run this anyway. So that's going to be the team. We're going to pause the video right here and we're going to cut straight to the battle. So I'll see you right there. Be right back. Alright guys, we are here, ready just to send a quick challenge to Professor Elm 5, of course. If you skipped the team builder, welcome in guys. Hi, it's your robot for Bombies are taking on the Coastal Claydols, aka Professor Elm 5. He's got a pretty deadly team, as you can see below the main screen. That's the 6 I think he's going to bring. His Sun Core is a bit of an issue, but I do think we can take it on relatively well. Quick TLDR for you on our team. We've got a Choice Scarf Volcarona. The idea behind this is to outspeed Cobalion, but there is a good chance Cobalion's possibly Scarfed this week, so it might not work out. But nonetheless, it's got U-Turn, Fiery Dance, Psychic this week instead of Bug Buzz. I don't need Bug Buzz this week. And Giga Drain, of course. We've got a Choice Scarf Rodon with enough speed to outspeed Weavile. I don't think he can afford Scarf Togekiss this week, so I've actually changed the EVs that was on my builder. So I originally had enough speed to outspeed Scarf Togekiss, but I don't think it's necessary. It's his only default go on the team if he brings a 6. I think he does. We got an Assault Vest with quite a decent amount of Spadef Mudsdale. This allows me to take on special hits from Venusaur and Ninetales and hit back. We have Choice Bandit Pangoro with near max attack and max HP. This allows me to revenge anything. And we are actually running Iron Fist this week with Drain Punch so that we don't end up with defense drops, which actually provides important rolls. We have our typical Duraludon, which is enough speed to outspeed non-Scarf Togekiss. With Thunderbolt this week instead of Solar Beam, otherwise it's the same set as last week. And last but by no means least, we're bringing a Amoonguss, fully Spadef with Black Sludge. We're running Spore Synthesis, Stomping Tantrum, which is an interesting little tech move, and Clear Smog, so Venusaur can't set up. But yep, that's the team, that's what we're bringing. So we're going to go challenge Professor Elm, and hope that he doesn't bring his Sun Core. I expect him to bring it, but we'll see. Either way though, good luck of course to Professor, it's going to be a fun match. This has been a hyped matchup all week long, so we're just going to wait for him to accept the challenge. Just gonna let him know I sent it. Send. And we're here. And we nail his 6. Okay. So he did bring his Sun Core, which is kind of annoying. So we're in a kind of an interesting position here, because I nailed his 6, which I didn't expect. So he leads Cobalion or Ninetales, in my opinion. So if I lead Rotom, which is my likely lead, how much am I doing in Ninetales? About half, 43 to 51. Solar does a lot to me though, so I might have to Volt Switch, which I don't think is a bad play for us. If he leads Cobalion, I can also get some intel on it. I could lead Mudsdale as a neutral play. The problem is I don't want him taking damage, because I really need Mudsdale for Cobalion. Close Combat does 35 to 41. Iron Head does 23. I can't imagine Stone Edge does much. Yeah, it does nothing. Earthquake really doesn't touch him, but if he hits me, Body Press does over half. Or just about half. Mudsdale's not a bad lead here, honestly. We do take on the Ninetales relatively well. We're gonna lead Mudsdale, as he does lead the Ninetales as expected. So we have some interesting plays here. Earthquake will kill this thing, guaranteed. But I feel like he 100% predicts that and goes Togekiss. So I almost want a Heavy Slam. But again, if I get this wrong, I'm taking unnecessary damage. Rock Tomb is a good neutral play, does about half to it. So I might go for that. One thing I do know is Rock Tomb plus Heavy Slam does actually kill Togekiss if it's offensive. Would he be offensive though? Probably. Could be defensive utility for Defog. I do like the Rock Tomb play though. So that's what we're going to go for. He actually stayed in, did go for the Solar Beam. It doesn't do much, as you can see. We are going to get a Rock Tomb off. We do just under half, so we don't get the best roll there. But Solar Beam's a good play. Are you in range to be revenged by Pangoro? Kinda. I can't really switch in now. So that was a good play on his part. He may have expected me to go right on there. He's not in range for Discharge to kill, which is the annoying thing, and I don't want Rotom taking the damage, because I need Rotom for Inteleon. So how much did that Solar Beam actually do to me? It did 28%, so yeah, that's about right. It's timid, max special attack by the looks of it. I could Rock Tomb again. I'm never going to be faster regardless. But I'm really surprised he stayed in. I'm going to keep my Mudsdale as healthy as possible. I really can't switch into Duraludon. I wanted to, but if he has Fire Blast, I'm in trouble. Also, if he has Scorching Sands, I'm also in trouble. This turn 1 did not work out well, because if I knew he was going to stay in, I'd have Earthquaked. But I expected him to switch. How do I want to deal with this? Can a Moongus take it? Well, Amoonguss lives it, but doesn't do anything back. I also kind of want to know if this is Heat Rock or not. I do want to keep this around, but I don't want to sack anything. But if I do want to keep this around, I need to sack something. Unless he Solar Beams again. How much is Volk doing? Not enough. Not enough at all. How do I deal with this? I'll go Amoongus. Oh, okay. We actually got a good read there. By complete accident. So, that's interesting. We're gonna clear Smog in case he tries to growth. I'm amazed that he switched there. I wonder what he predicted me to go into. I mean, I could have gone Volk there. And if I'd have gone Volk there, that would have been a god tier play, but there was no way I would have predicted him to go into Venusaur there. But I made a good safe switch into Amoongus. This thing barely touches me unless it has Weather Ball. Which actually is something I should consider here. How much does Weather Ball do to Amoongus? Venusaur. In Sun. It doesn't kill me. But it does a hell of a lot. I have to go for Clear Smog in case he tries to growth. But if he has Weather Ball, that's a problem. He doubled out. So he's not using his Sun turns all that wise. He's gonna go for the Fire move here. There's not really much I can do about that. I'm pretty sure I live it though. I'm fairly sure. I did calc it earlier, but I do want to make 100% sure. I live it. I actually want a Spore here. He has Weather Ball on this, which is actually a-okay. We get the Spore off. Interesting that it's Weather Ball on Ninetales. Not really something you see all the time. So is he not Fire Blast then? Or is he not running Nasty Plot? I mean, I get free Synthesis here. If I want it. Which I kind of do. So let me just check the Weather Ball damage. 69 to 82. It did 78, so definitely looks like it's timid. It's not Specs. Gonna Synthesis. Goes back into Venusaur, that's fine. So let's see if you're Heat Rock or not. You are Heat Rock. Good to know. I could Stomping Tantrum here. If he goes back into Ninetales, that's kind of an interesting play. But he can't afford to, because if he does, he dies. So, just in case he goes for growth, I should clear Smog again. He got actually Sludge Bombs this time, that's fine. Do a bit of damage, not much. And he's Black Sludge. Okay, good to know. Do you have Weather Ball on this? Because he obviously knows Venusaur must get Weather Ball. Weather Ball's a roll to kill me, so I need to be careful. He is in Darkest Lariat range, though. He's got to have Weather Ball. There's no way he doesn't. It does so much to Pangoro. Damn. I need to stall out these 2 more Sun turns. How do I do that? I feel like he Weather Balls again. What's my switching on this? Ugh, it does too much to Volk as well. This is why I didn't like this core. Giga Drain would kill me. I rode him. Oh, if I can stall out the Sun, we're in a good spot. Giga Drain does too much. I don't really want to chance the roll, because I know he's probably got Weather Ball on this. Good prep, Weather Ball Ninetales. I didn't expect him to bring that. I expected Weather Ball purely on this. If I sack a Moongus, which is really early to sack it, and I don't really want to. How well does my Duraludon if it's maxed do against him? Depletion does a lot. But so does Sun Weather Ball. It really does. What if he has Earth Power? Earth Power doesn't kill me. So I can definitely limit this thing if I can stall this thing out. He actually Sludge Bombed again. I could have Synthesis there. Does he not have Weather Ball on this? Or is he just going for range? I got Synthesis. Do you not have Weather Ball on this? Man, if I predicted that, I could have just gone to Duraludon. I didn't think he would just continuously Sludge Bomb. Yeah, we'll Synthesis. Just don't growth. That's all you gotta do. It'd also be good for him to potentially switch in Togekiss here. Togekiss is actually very good if he's Scarfed. Obviously, he doesn't want to take the Clear Smog, which is the problem. But yeah, I'm gonna Synthesis in case he doesn't have Weather Ball. I'll be shocked if he doesn't. Because it was weird that he would Sludge Bomb there, because Weather Ball would have killed me. He actually did go for Growth, so I should have Clear Smogged. Okay, but now he's out of Sun. So now I can Clear Smog again. It's like +2 Sludge Bomb. It's going to do a bit, but it's not going to do enough. Yeah, it does a lot, but we clear out his stat boosts. So now he probably goes Ninetales, if I had to guess. So I might just Stomping Tantrum, predicting that. Do I want a Stomping Tantrum here? I feel like he has a pretty safe play to go to Ninetales, honestly. Either that or he goes Inteleon. I'm gonna predict. I mean, Synthesis is also my better play, to be honest. We're gonna Synthesis. He actually went Weavile. Okay. Are you gonna triple axle me? Is that how this is gonna go? Let's say you're sashed. Because I don't think you're banded. Triple axle. You did quite a lot to me. I'm not a fan of that. I almost just want to go Volk. But if he knocks off my Scarf, that's a problem. He probably goes for Ice Move. So I could go Rotom. Or he could also knock off. That could also be a thing. What can I afford him to knock off? Probably the Shard. So we'll go to Duraludon. Does go for Axel. Okay. That's fine. I did a hell of a lot. He actually managed to hit all three, which is kind of bad. We do max here, though. Yeah, if I max, he has a roll to kill me, but he's got to hit everything. We are going to max and go for Steel Spike. This is not the best use of my G-Max I've ever done. It's one, he gets a crit, which is annoying. Wow, so he hits all three every time. So Duraludon goes down. That kind of sucks. And we don't get any more intel on the set, which I'm not a fan of. We know he's not Life Orb, so that's one thing. He's not banded because he didn't do enough damage. I'm going to assume he's sashed. That's my first thought. So we're going to go to Volcarona here. And I think we U-turn. We should be faster unless he's Scarfed. And if he is Scarfed, this will outspeed me, which will suck. But... ooh, wow. I almost went for Fiery Dance there. And that would have killed. But the fact that he sent this in is signaling to me that this is probably Scarfed. So I'm going to go straight into Mudsdale. And now I think I just EQ or body press. Or do I Rock Doom? Nah, I think I body press. Yeah, he goes entirely on as I expected, so we're going to get some damage off. Bop. Nice bit of hit there. So I need to save this thing. So I'm going to go into my Shroom. Man, I wish I still had the Duraludon here. The Duraludon would have been so good. He's not quite in range. Oh, actually, he might be in range for a Discharge from Rotom. Inteleon. Oh yeah, he's in range. We're gonna go into Amoonguss here as he does max it. Goes for the Hydro Snipe, which does nothing. Do I take a Hailstorm? I do take a Hailstorm. Do I take an Airstream? Oh yeah, I eat an Airstream. Oh, wait, no. What does it get that maxes into it? Air Slash. That's what I get. I eat it. So I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna Synthesis up. So basically, he has to not crit me. That's how this is gonna work, and we can stall out his G-Max. So we've already taken one turn off him, which is good news. There's the Hailstorm. It doesn't kill. So Hail being up is kind of bad. I'm not a fan. But we are stalling out. That's his second turn. I think I can sack Amoonguss here. We'll go for Synthesis on the off chance. He does actually Hailstorm again, which is fine for us. So now his G-Max is done. Which is a good thing, because now my Rotom's in range to kill it. We lose Amoonguss for it, so we are down. We are behind. But you know what? I'm okay with it. So, we go Rotom. Because this thing doesn't touch me, and we have a good chance to just go for a free Discharge here. Yeah, we're gonna Discharge. He has a small chance to live this, but I get a Discharge on whatever comes in. Nothing he takes wants to get powered. He could sack his Ninetales, which I think he should do. Which maybe I should actually Volt Switch, just to be on the safer side. I mean, Volt Switch is a roll to still kill this thing. Oh, wait, Vault Switch just definitely kills. Yeah, we go for Vault Switch. 100% of the time. So Ninetales has had no sleep turns, which means it's always going to be asleep for 1 turn anyway. So I won't be surprised if he sacked it off, gave himself 8 turns. He actually just sacks his Inteleon. Okay. Interesting play. I probably would have saved that if I was him. But I'm kind of okay with keeping this thing around. I can go Pangoro here. I hope this Cobalion doesn't have close combat if I do that. Let's go into Mudsdale. This is risky, because he probably goes Weavile. Although if he does go Weavile, I'll just go straight back into Rotom. Yeah, he does go to Weavile. Can a triple axle kill me? Now I know he's not banded. He's not banded. He is probably sashed. Could kill me. Although I do get a buff on every hit, so maybe it doesn't. I really need to keep an eye on Cobalion, so for the sake of safety, we're going into Rotom. Let's go for the Axle, that's fine. So he is really trying hard to preserve this thing's sash. I get a free Volt Switch off, or I can just go for Discharge. Discharge will be a nice play. We'll go for it. Because again, whatever comes in doesn't want to be parried. We've not played this too well. He's played this very well. Huge props to Professor, by the way. This is much better than he played last week. I'm really gutted that my Duraludon didn't live. He hasn't missed a triple axle yet. He's hit every time. It's a bit unfortunate for us. But we're okay with this. We get a free Discharge here. So I know triple axle doesn't kill me. Knockoff doesn't kill me. Nothing he has kills me. But he does put me low though, and I don't like it. I get really good intel on him here. Actually, saying that, Knockoff does kill me. So we're Volt Switching. I just need this thing's sash broken. That's all I need. Okay, potential sash broken. Good news. Bad news is he stayed in. Alright, let's go into Pangoro then. Knockoff, that's fine. We lose our band, which sucks, but that's okay. So at this point, I can Bullet Punch or I can Drain Punch. If I Drain Punch and catch the Cobalion, that's going to be sick. Bullet Punch is also fine. It will kill this. Nothing he has can kill me, so we're going to Drain Punch. Oh, he went Togekiss. I should have Bullet Punched. Well, that's fine. He's leftovers, so he's not Scarf, which is great news. So the fact that he's not scarfed means I should be able to 2-hit KO a bullet punch. Although I have lost my band. I don't 2-hit KO him anymore. Though Thunder Punch does, but he... I could go for Thunder Punch, predict him to Nasty Plot, but he has no reason not to Air Slash here, in my opinion. So on that basis, I am actually going to go to Rotom, as he does Nasty Plot. Okay. So this is what I didn't want to happen. Alright, how much did he do to Rotom at +2? Not enough to kill me. We're discharging. Power hacks? No power, feels bad. He actually Dazzling Gleams. Good play. Alright, so that was a bad play on my end. I should have Volt Switched. That was silly. I think I might have just thrown the game by throwing a Rotom like that. Is he in range for a Bullet Punch now, though? Yes, he is. Okay. Is he in range for a Fiery Dance, actually? Oh, he is. Kinda. It's not worth the risk. I'm going in the Pangoro. We're gonna Bullet Punch. Dude, I sucked this game. Holy crap. I can't believe how bad I've played this. Welp. No! Are you serious? Literally Manrolled. Yikes. GG's. Oh, that is sad. I literally just Manrolled. That's horrible. Okay. I just have to play to a Volcarona endgame now. We are going to Fiery Dance and see if we can get back into the game. Oh no, I think I've thrown this. I think I've thrown. That min roll was so huge. So to make that clear to you guys, I ran the calc on my screen. Bullet Punch actually KOs most of the time. Yeah, this thing's 1,000,000% scarfed. Alright. Miss your Stone Edge. Nope, you hit it. Feels bad. Although saying that, that did not do a lot of damage. But you're definitely scarfed, because there's no way you bring that Cobalion in otherwise. So you're locked into Stone Edge now, which means you're switching out. And you have no Earthquake resistance. You also have nothing that really appreciates a body press. He's played this nice. I might be able to play to a Volcarona endgame. But man, this is going to be hard. I think he goes Ninetales, to be honest, and sacks it. I'm gonna go on the Earthquake. Yeah, he does sack the Ninetales. That's what I expected. Alright. I could pull this back. It relies on him messing up now, though. That's what we're relying on. We're relying on him messing up. But I don't really see how he can mess up. But I definitely think he's back in the game. How much is my body press doing at +1? It's not doing anything. I have to Rock Tomb first. Which sucks, but I have to do it. Solar Beam doesn't kill me. Oh, it does? Wow. That should not have killed. Hold on a second. What did I mess up? I don't know if that killed. Wait, there's no way that should have killed me. Did he? What am I miscalculating here? I've obviously miscalculated something, but what? I know he's Black Sludge. Oh my god, he just maxed me. Oh, that is sad news. And you max rolled. My Mudsdale too. Oofed. Oh, that's kind of sad news. We lose Mudsdale, which means Cavalian wins. Unless he misses a Stone Edge. That's the only way I can win this game now, is him missing. So we go Habanero and we just Fiery Dance. Get some damage off. Poisons me just for good measure. We nuke the Venusaur. Alright, so this decides it. Cobra, obviously. Scarfed. Yeah, it's definitely Scarfed. And he connects the Stone Edge. So we unfortunately take a loss. That really sucked for us. That's a hard one to take. We had some rolls really against us that game. But that's Pokemon. GG to Professor. That was fantastic prep, dude. That was way better than last week. Way, way better. I called it 6 as well, and I knew it would be a problem. So yeah. Bit of a harsh loss, but I did say this in post-draft that Professor's a strong player. People wrote him off after week 1 when he lost. But you know what, dude? That's the game we play. Some bad rolls really lost us the game there. Obviously, he hit every triple axle, so, you know, that happens. That's the game. But yeah, GG's Professor. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Bomby Teacher. I'm your coach of the Royal Bomber for Bombies. Stay safe. Stay awesome. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.